Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. In today's episode, I don't know in today's episode. What in today's episode? You decide. No, I've already decided. No, you decide. No, I've already decided. I don't care. You decide. No, Okay, so I'm going to talk about ABDL stuff. Maybe I should use this to learn how to make a crib and a playpen. A playpen. Well, actually, I could probably just buy a playpen. When I went on the Jerry Springer show, they had a playpen that they put out there on the stage. But I'm kind of heavy for a playpen. The floor kind of gives way. No, I would never do that show again. Although I wish I had video of the episode so I could show Mommy. But I did have a VHS tape of the episode that I recorded off the TV, but I lost everything. So anyway, let's see, where do I start? Today there are a lot of ABDLs and they're pretty open about it. Some are, some aren't. Those that are not, they have their reasons. Those that are, we have our reasons. But I can remember a day when there were still a lot of ABDLs out there, but there wasn't really an outlet. The first time I remember hearing about or seeing any other ABs was on the Phil Donahue show. They don't want Phil Donahue on the air anymore because he talks about peace, and Obama is not a peace president. He's actually started more wars than Bush did. But and then there's the NDAA, Brandon Robb, and indefinite detention, killing people with drones without charge, without trial. But anyway, so they don't want Phil Donahue on the air because he talks about peace and civil rights, civil liberties. Anyway, so on the Phil Donahue show, there was an episode where he had some ABs on there. I think Tommy from DPF was on there. Now, I didn't get to really watch the show because it was on, and I think my mother was home when it was on, so I couldn't really watch it. And this tells you how long ago it was. And we lived on Mystic Sunrise, which is now not a good neighborhood. At the time it was, but I think the neighborhood's called Sunrise. Not sure. Anyway, now of course I was AB way before that. I mean, the first time I remember liking diapers and baby things, I don't know how old I was. We lived on Cleveland Court. This is when we lived on Okinawa. And we lived on Okinawa for 5 years. We lived in 4 different houses in those 5 years, which means moving a lot. Now, we lived on 2 houses off base and 2 on. Things were getting heated. Let's just say they were getting heated, and my dad had security clearances, and therefore we had to move on base. It wasn't that he wanted us to live on base, it's that we were forced to. I remember we were going to get our picture taken once, where we always had our family portrait taken, and there was a riot. He got us out of there, but it was that close, Anyway, so we were living on Cleveland Court, and the house was basically a 2-bedroom, but there was like a servant's quarter like kind of place, and that's where my sister's crib was. It was over by the laundry room in the back of the house, between like my parents' room and the kitchen. It's where the would go to the back door. And I remember taking my sister's diapers into my bedroom and putting them on and trying to use them. I could never use them. I don't know why, I just couldn't. Even now I have to think about it when I need to go. But my mother divorced my dad, and we moved to the United States. We moved to a small town outside of Houston. It was a small farming community called Alief. Alief is not a small farming community anymore. It's not a safe, not a safe place anymore either. Well, my mom had me sent to Austin State Hospital, where I stayed there about a year. The abuse in that place was horrendous. And no, the abuse hasn't stopped. It's, just because you have new buildings doesn't mean you have a different kind of people working there. You still have the same kind of people working there. If they don't do anything about the abuse, then they don't do anything about the abuse. But I got sent there because she caught me with diapers. And she asked me if I wanted to wear them, and I said no, but I really did. Then, off and on between then and like high school, occasionally I would be able to get my hands on a pair of nappies, but not often. Then, like in high school, I went to 7-Eleven. I think it was 7-Eleven. We had Utotems back then, but I think it was a 7-Eleven. We had Utotems and 7-Elevens. That's all we had in Alief. Not like Alief was a big place back then. Jeez, it was... This town we live in is probably bigger than Alief was. Alief was spread out because, like I said, it was a farming community. It had a lot of flat land, a lot of fields. But anyway, what I did is I took two Pampers. They were Pamper brand. And I taped them together, and I was able to wear them. And then there was this, medical supply store on Bel Air Boulevard. And I ordered from them, it was called Go-Aheads. I ordered a case, and they brought them by the house. Now, by that point I was 18. My mother couldn't keep sending me to institutions against my will anymore. She didn't like it. There were a lot of issues because of the AB thing. Throughout growing up, there were a lot of issues that there should not have been. But like I said, I heard about Diaper Pail Friends, which before that it was known as Diaper Pail Fraternity. It used to be a gay thing. Thankfully, when I found out about it, it was not. And I joined DPF. I had a roster listing, and never really met anybody for friends or anything like that. But I met one person, and we talked on the phone, but that person was also a baby. Anyway, so today there's Daily Diapers and Diaper Space, and I think it's ADSIC or something like that. You can even find things on FetLife, Facebook. There are a lot of ABDL things out there. There are companies online. eBay and Etsy have AB things. People are more open about it. Some people are, not everybody. One person that I met, so to speak, through DPF was Angela Bauer. And I went to I think it's ADSIC or ADIS whatever. And she had a profile, but she was banned. She was banned like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know why. She was on Diaper Space. This was a few years ago, and she told me about a movie that was being made called Redemption. It looked good. I mean, the treatment that I saw looked good. She told me at the time, well, it took place in San Antonio. I don't know if it really did or not, but you know, it would have been a good movie if they would have actually made it. But yeah, I had a lot of problems because of the ABDL thing. But I'm glad it's better now and that there's more acceptance of it. Although, you know, I'm very careful, like, if it comes to a psychiatrist or psychologist or social worker, I'm very, very careful about saying anything to them because I know what they're capable of. And there, in the past, people accused ABs of being pedophiles, which makes no sense. We go back to babyhood or to toddlerhood or whatever age you play. It has nothing to do with chronological children. But, you know, there's that stupidity in some people's minds. Now, for me, it's feeling safe, secure, free, wanted, loved, cared for, cared about. I don't know if that really explains much, but anyway, that's just what I wanted to say. So, hopefully you like this video.